Let's take you back to one of the big stories of the day of the dissolution of the NSFAS Board. Joining us to discuss this further is OUTA Investigations Manager Rudie Heyneke. Good afternoon, Rudie, and thank you very much for your time. Now, as OUTA, you in particular stuck to your guns, refusing to retract that one particular report on the leaked recordings, which were implicating Koza as well as the minister. Now, the board has since been dissolved, and also we understand that the chair, Koza, has resigned. Your reaction to this?
Thank you, Mfundo. Yes, we are not going to retract any reports. I think that, it is not only this report that shows that it is not business as usual or as it should be at NSFAS. It comes over a period of 2 years now. Last year, the beginning of last year, the cap on the accommodation there was a cap put on the accommodation allowances. Then the fintech companies came in to pay the direct allowances to students that we know that didn't go off very well. The AG made adverse findings in the 2021-2022 financial audit. And then, Werksman's attorneys, their investigation found allegations to be true of the former CEO, that he interfered with the appointment of these fintech companies. So it's not only, I think, one incident, but it is coming from over a period of time. And the resignation of the chair, I do believe that would be influenced, or the recordings will have an influence on that. But the NSFAS being placed under administration, I think it is long overdue.
But now that you're speaking of Werksmans, they recommended that those 4 contracts be terminated. But it seems the system is still in place. They're still there.
That is correct, and it is a sad state of affairs that this has not been executed yet. I do think that we're sitting with that report from October last year, and the board did not implement it. But we must also remember that in the recordings, the representative of one of the service providers, requested the chair, just keep out another 3 or 4 months so that we can make some more money. And looks like, that actually did happen. And now we're sitting with the consequences that these fintech companies are still there. This month, April, they started to disburse allowances again to students. And we've seen protests all over the country today at NSFAS headquarters of students complaining and protesting because they do not get their allowances or they do not get it on time.
The placing of institutions under administration, is it honestly an effective tool in this respect?
Well, NSFAS was under administration from 2018 up until 2020, when the minister appointed Mr. Koza and Mr. Nongogo. And at the end of that period, NSFAS got a clean audit. So financially, it was stable. And I think back in those days, the disbursement of allowances to students were also on time. So there was definitely, a degradation of affairs at NSFAS in the past 2-3 years. And that is, the reason why we are sitting here. And if you ask me if administration is always effective, administration should be a turnaround strategy and a plan for an institution. But the other side of the coin is that you sit now with one person who has got all the power, and he's only going to speak to the minister. He must only report back to the minister, and that is also not the most desired situation.
Now I want to take you back to Mr. Koza, the former chairman now. When he took 30-day leave of absence, a law firm, TGR, was appointed to investigate his conduct. Now, I read your statement. You state that the report must still be released even though he's resigned, just to almost arrest this thing of executives resurfacing in other powerful positions.
Yes, if we look at Mr. Koza's history, in 2005, he was the CEO of MEEC in Mpumalanga. Just before the PwC investigation report was supposed to be released, he resigned. There was also findings of maladministration and alleged corruption in that report. And it looks like deja vu. This time around, there's a report that should come out, and we do believe that it will, if it hasn't been handed over to the board yet, it should come out very soon, because TGR only had 30 days to do this investigation. But we saw in the minister's statement yesterday that he said that he's also waiting and that he understands that it is imminent to come out now. But here we see it, deja vu, the chairperson again resigning just before the release of an investigation report.
What should be the ideal situation insofar as the payment of allowances to students is concerned? Should NSFAS manage this process internally? Or we must just find other third parties, not necessarily the 4 now, that we said to have brought in irregularly?
For new, the public service, for example, is paying almost 2 million employees every month. On time, if there's deductions, the monies are deducted. If there's bonuses to be paid or leave or whatever, they get it on time without any problems. Why can't NSFAS do the same? Why can't they go to the public service, for example, and say, listen, give us, some advice. How can we do this? Because you're doing this for years now without any hiccups. Why is it necessary to have a third party that is costing us, as taxpayers, a lot of money? These fintech companies will bag millions, in their 5-year tenure. So, the NSFAS mandate, if you think about it, that is to support vulnerable and poor students financially. That's their mandate. That's what they must do. Why get third parties in to do their job? That is what they must do. That's their mandate. That's their statutory mandate that they must comply with. And if they cannot do that, one must rethink the purpose of NSFAS.
Some very pertinent questions you asked there. We'll actually be posing them to the NSFAS spokesperson, Ishmael Mnisi, at the top of 6 o'clock. I wish I could have had the both of you in at the same time so you can pose those questions, that why not stick to your mandate. But thank you very much for your time this afternoon.